I'm going to tell you everything you need to know before buying the Origin 325A, and we're starting right now.
Origin JumpWorks at your service. Core system operational.
Welcome to A Star Citizen's Buyer's Guide. What's up, citizens? This is SubliminaL here, and today we'll be discussing the features, functions, and benefits of the Origin 325A. And we'll compare those features amongst competing ships so you can make an informed buying decision. In this review, I'll cover a brief overview, take a tour, compare stats, go over its default weapons and components, as well as my recommendations, review pros and cons, and finish up with my thoughts on the 325A. The 2950 Invictus week should be here at the time you're watching this, and this ship will be available to fly May 22nd through the 23rd. I will let the community decide what ship I will review next. Head over to my Twitter and place your vote now. While you're there, give me a follow. If this is our first time meeting, welcome. My name is SubliminaL and my passions are Star Citizen and content creation. Be sure to check out some of my other reviews in this series and consider subscribing. Remember to check the pinned comment below for corrections, afterthoughts, and updated loadouts. New citizens can use my referral link on screen or in the description to reserve their 5,000 Alpha UEC in the persistent universe. No pledge necessary. With that out of the way, let's get to it. This buyer's guide is brought to you by my Locations of Standing collection over on Display. Any purchase made supports the channel, and for every purchase, Display will plant a tree in places that need it the most. Click the link in the description. The Origin 325A is the combat variant of the 300 series. It features an advanced weapon payload as well as a custom targeting system designed especially for the 325A by Wills-Op. The 325A was officially revealed in 2940. It was generally believed to be the result of a naval contract. No information has ever been declassified on why the UEEN might have utilized the Fighting Focus 300i design, but an in-depth analysis of the ship's properties suggests it was actually first designed as much as a decade before its 2940 release. Origin JumpWorks is a Terra-based spaceship and engine manufacturer of high-quality and luxury products. The 300 series are 4 ships that are built with an additional focus on luxury and comfort. Each ship has its own purpose and primary focus. The 300i is the basic all-around luxury touring model. The 315P Explorer features a tractor beam and extra cargo. The 325A is specifically designed for combat, and the 350R is the racing-oriented model of the 300 series. As of today, the 325A is on sale and upgrade on the Pledge Store for $70. It is available as a loaner to 890 Jump and 600i owners. It is available in-game at Area 18's Astro Armada for a little over 944,000 Alpha UEC. Now, one important thing to note is the 300 series has a ton of customization packages that changes its livery, interior, weapons, and components. However, this is beyond the scope of this review. I've made videos on this in the past. Check the link in the info card on the screen here. What I will tell you is that if you want to buy cosmetic items, no problem. Do what you do. However, not a single weapon or component is worth it. You can buy better ones in-game, and they will persist until the next wipe. With that rant out of the way, let's take a look at the Origin 325A. If you'd like to skip this tour, the timestamp is on screen and in the description. The murdered out 325A you are seeing here is sporting the premium metallic obsidian paint job. Up front, you'll notice, unless you're Stevie Wonder, it has a massive fixed size 4 laser cannon on the nose. And one of my favorite aesthetic parts of the 300 series, the LED headlights. Inside the wings here is where we find the retro thrusters. Under the wing, we have a fixed size 3 ballistic repeater and 2 size 2 missiles. At the rear, you'll notice the same large HDMI port found on the rest of the 300 series. The starboard side is identical to the port side. And let's not forget where the 4 SCU of cargo is stored. Let's climb inside. Straight ahead, we have a head. The starboard side has a bed to log out in. The clock and digital picture frame are cosmetic add-ons that I purchased. And unlike most of the ships, the screen has a functional MFD. Sorry, my titties are in the way, you'll just have to take my word on this. In the rear, we have a gun rack and an armor locker. The coffee machine, sound system, and food processor you see here are more add-ons that I purchased. These all have animations but don't actually produce anything that you can consume. Let's check out the flight deck. The seat, yoke, and dashboard finish here are more customization options that I picked. The 325A's HUD has not been converted to the new building blocks UI just yet. It has 4 MFDs and a radar. The 325A does not have an ejection system. And we can't forget the best part, the iconic panoramic moonroof found on the 300 series. Let's see how it compares to other ships you might be considering. For comparison, I've selected 10 ships that are competitors or variants of the Origin 325A. The Google Sheet document with the data is linked in the description. It weighs in at over 72,000 kilograms and comes in 8th place. It barely fits in at 27 meters in length and takes 9th place. It totes 4 SCU of cargo and takes 2nd place. It has a max crew size of 1, as well as every other ship on this list except the Reliant Tana and Banu Defender. It carries 583 quantum fuel units and ties in 2nd place with every ship on this list except the Banu Defender again. It blazes by with an SCM speed of 225 meters per second and takes 1st place. It zips by with a max speed of 1235 and takes 5th place, but it should be noted that it's only 3 meters per second away from 3rd. It steers in with a maximum yaw pitch of 69 degrees per second and takes 4th place. It boasts a total HP of over 6100 and takes the 6th spot. It blasts its way in with a default pilot DPS of 1414 and takes 4th place. No ships on this list have turrets, and it drops bombs with a combined missile payload of over 32,000 and takes the 2nd spot. And the 325A is available for sale in-game for under 1 million Alpha UEC and seems to be priced pretty well considering. So let's talk about its stock weapons and my recommendations. In case you skipped the tour, on the nose, the 325A has a f***ing size 4 hardpoint. Under each wing it has a size 3 hardpoint, as well as a size 3 missile rack. And finally, it has a size 5 proprietary 325A missile bay that holds 4 size 3 missiles. The nose has a fixed size 4 M6A laser autocannon. At this time, gimbal assist gives you a huge advantage, so as much as it pains me to say it, I won't be adding the size 4 Revenant ballistic Gatling. Instead, we'll add its little brother, the Mantis GT220. One Mantis is size 2, does 29 damage times 1000 RPM for a total of 480 DPS and a 2400 meter range. With ballistics, ammo should be taken into account. It has 4,000 rounds that would deplete in 240 seconds of continuous fire. Each wing has a fixed size 3 SW16 BR3 Shredder ballistic repeater. I'll be adding a couple of Scorpion GT215s. One Scorpion is size 2, does 21 damage, times 900 RPM for a total of 318 DPS and a 2100 meter range. With ballistics, ammo should be taken into account. It has 8,000 rounds that would deplete in 540 seconds of continuous fire. For missiles, it comes with 2 MSD 322 missile racks with 2 Dominator 2s each. For missiles, I prefer the cross-section type, so I'd add a couple of Strike Force 2s. They are size 2, cross-section, do almost 3,800 damage, have a 2.4 second lock time, and a 4,800 meter lock range. An honorable mention would be the Rattler 2s. And under the chassis, we have the proprietary SNT 543 missile rack with 4 Arrestor 3s. They are size 3, cross-section, do over 4,200 damage, have a 3.5 second lock time, and a 9,000 meter lock range. I would definitely keep these. So let's talk about the standard components as well as my recommendations. The standard power plant on the 325A is the size 1 grade 3 Regulus. I recommend swapping it out for the size 1 grade 1 JS300 with almost 3,700 max power generation per second and a 10-second draw request time. This will add over 1,500 max power draw and shorten the time it takes to reach that power draw down to 10 seconds. For coolers, it comes with two size 1 grade 3 bracer coolers. My recommendation for the coolers is to pair the cooler with the fastest cooling rate and the cooler with the fastest power up time. This will be the Ultra Flow and Zero Rush. This will bring its maximum cooling rate to 678,000. In this configuration, the Zero Rush will start adding some cooling quickly because of its low draw time, and the Ultra Flow will add to your overall cooling rate. For shields, it has two size 1 grade 3 all-stop shield generators. My recommendation for the shields in 3.9 is to pair the best overall size 1 shield, the FR66, with either a Palisade for slower ships or a Mirage for more nimble ships. Since the 325A is pretty quick, we'll go with the Mirage. This way, the Mirage can start adding to the shield pool quickly while the FR66 takes its time. The idea is that a ship like the 325A is nimble enough to avoid getting hit to let the shields recharge if needed. Also, dual FR66s would be a good option too. And lastly, the QT drive it comes with is the size 1 grade 3 Beacon. I would swap it out for the Voyage. Its size 1 grade 2 has 158 megameter per second quantum speed, a 5.1 second spool up, and a 10-second cool down time. With the Cutlass Black's quantum fuel capacity, it can make the trip from Port Alizar to Microtech without stopping to refuel. If you don't have around 170,000 Alpha UEC to spend on all this at once, I would buy them in the following order. After you watch the rest of the review, check out the link to my Urkel.Games loadout in the description. Here you can find the prices and locations on where to find these items in the verse. These are just my recommendations and aren't the best for every situation. If you have any questions, comments, or recommendations, leave them in the comments below. Because Star Citizen is constantly changing, my recommended loadouts can change anytime. To stay up to date, head over to the SubliminaL channel Discord, where I store my most updated loadouts. I'm building a community there for citizens who want to discuss ships, loadouts, components, weapons, and more. Click the link in the description. Alright, let's weigh some of the pros and cons. Having 4 SCU in a fighter isn't necessary, but I'll take it. Its SCM speed is amongst the best in its class. It doesn't mean much now, however, when component degradation comes in, it will mean less repairs. Its max speed is pretty good. If you need to, you'll be able to outrun most ships. It's nimble, not quite as nimble as the Blade, Arrow, or Hawk, but for its size, it's great. Its damage potential with that size 4 hardpoint is amazing. The other ships on this list that beat it are glass cannons except the Saber. Its missile payload is excellent. It has space to hold passengers and mission boxes. It has a bed to log out in. Alright, so I'm running out of room here and I don't feel like editing this template, so just listen up. Its optional food processor and coffee machines will come in handy once they produce food. It has a customizable design, less important with the new skin system coming out, but the interior customization for now is unique. Its price at $70 or just under 1 million Alpha UEC in game is a steal. And last but not least, you can take a space shit in it. Alright, let's see if we can find some cons. Let's see, the 4 SCU of cargo, if I understand correctly, doesn't allow you to package your FPS minables for storage. That's a pretty big one. And the only other thing I can think of is this biggest flaw. The only thing stopping the 325A from being the undisputed best sub $100 light fighter in Star Citizen, its overall size and its wings. This is one of those things that can't be explained on paper or with stats. Those beautiful wings on the back are easy targets, and once they're shot off or knocked off, you've just lost a third or possibly 2/3 of your firepower, and also your maneuverability because the wings also house the retro thrusters. Alright, so SubliminaL, what are your thoughts? I think the 325A is an excellent combat ship. In every category, it's either slightly above average or great. It's fast, nimble, and has great damage potential. What more can you ask for in a light fighter? If the damage model gets changed in the future and we get less of a penalty for losing a wing, I'd officially hang up my Gladius. As far as what's best between them, I think the Gladius's cross-section brings it around to a tie. But I'll know more about that when I give them a ship battle. If you're looking to get into a better combat ship and you own a 300i or Avenger Titan, I would consider giving this a look. You'll lose 4 SCU of cargo, but when was the last time you filled it up anyway? If I could have only one ship, I think I'd pick the 325A. Those are my thoughts. Let me hear yours down in the comments. Don't forget to vote on the next ship. Head over to Twitter right now. If you've enjoyed this review, check out more of my content. If you'd like, there are 6 ways to support the channel. Number 1, you can smash that like button. Number 2, you can share this content with someone who may enjoy it. Number 3, you can check out my locations of Stanton collection over on Displate. Number 4, you can subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking the circle here. Number 5, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button below. And number 6, if you're feeling generous, consider becoming a patron. Some pledge perks can be seen here, including desktop versions of my locations of Stanton collection available to all patrons. If not, your viewership is greatly appreciated. Until next time, citizens, I'll see you in the verse.